Good morning, Nashville. Happy Saturday here on this final weekend of October. 4's Company, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Jake Lyman, Connor Newt, Nick Frazier, alongside you here from the Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios.
I hope everyone is up now.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
You just
the jump
woke everyone
scare.
in.
Well, I started off slow. The stadium pulse was high because I couldn't hear myself, and then we went all the way up. So
All the way up.
we're good. We're good. Gentlemen, how are we? The shackles are back on, as you guys said. I am back. I heard you say that. I was like, damn, I keep you guys. I let you guys do whatever you want pretty much around here. But
we missed you. How was your Appalachian Trail hike?
it was fantastic.
Wherever the heck you
Yeah, I got to see the Hokies get a win against BC
Hey,
back
Connor,
on Thursday.
there's something that we didn't know about this guy. I don't know if you know about it or not.
I can think of a few things.
Take a wild guess. I'll give you three guesses.
You don't want that. You're engaged.
Yeah. that's
Wow.
right.
Yeah.
Did you know?
Congratulations,
No.
Jake. I didn't know that.
This man's engaged.
Yeah, I got engaged on Friday
Aw.
down there.
How'd you
So,
do it?
So I left early from Blacksburg, long story short, to take the Vanderbilt job I didn't go back for graduation. So my mom has been saying for years, like, next time we're all together in Blacksburg, we're going to do graduation pictures. So that was kind of the disguise, is we were doing graduation pictures all around campus. We ended at the football stadium, and the last picture I got down on one knee.
Oh, look at
um,
that.
Yeah. So
Sweet,
that was
sweet.
the reason for the trip last weekend.
I don't know why that popped in my head. I was like, you know what? You look a little brighter today than usual.
Did you get a haircut?
I did
That's
not
what it
get,
is.
I got a haircut before. I did not get a haircut recently.
Everyone around here is getting married. What's going on?
I know.
You're married. He's about to be married. Nick Keyser's married.
Not me.
Not me.
No, not me.
I'm a little young for that.
I'm enjoying life right now. It's been great.
Who's next?
You know what makes
Charles McCabe.
Jake Lyman
The
different?
suit.
Look at that polo.
I know.
Yeah.
The design of that polo. Vanderbilt's got some good polos.
Gear season.
It is.
Yeah,
You're in your bride gear.
I am. This is my white
Bridal
dress.
gear.
Yes.
Bold of you to wear white on a rainy day like today, but
Yeah. Well, I've worn black to every other Vanderbilt game. I thought I would switch it up. So,
throw in some gold.
but the gold with the khaki pants, it just
Oh, yeah.
it clashes a little bit.
Yeah.
So, speaking of Vanderbilt, Andrew Allegretta is going to join us in the next segment talking about Vanderbilt and Texas as we get set for that one. You can hear that up on 94.9 The Fan with pregame coverage starting at 1:30. Let's get into headlines. Let's start with Connor Newt. Why don't you get us going?
I'm going to take the one that everyone wants to do, and it's going to be great. Frederick Freeman.
Yeah.
How about it? Dodgers and Yankees going to extras, tied 2-2. Yankees take the lead in the top of the 10th. And then let's load the bases. Intentional walk on Mookie Betts to load it. Freddie Freeman, first pitch, he knew it. It was gone. I mean, this is going to be a fun series, man. It's not often in the World Series you actually get the two legitimate best teams in baseball. It's always whoever's, the hottest. Like last year, it was, the Diamondbacks were on a rampage and the Rangers were too. And those were probably the two hottest teams in baseball. But this year is different because we get the two best, like top to bottom roster, best pitching rotations in baseball, best hitting lineups. It's going to be fun. Frederick Freeman. Who would have thought?
I'm just curious, like, when will pitchers know not to throw inside to lefty batters?
Yeah.
Like,
Grooved him a fastball.
I thought he hung a curve at first, and then I watched it again. I was like, no. He just threw a fat one right down the middle.
Yep.
I mean, it's right in his wheelhouse. It made no sense as to what Nestor Cortez was thinking. It had to have been like a missed location for sure, but
Not so nasty, Nestor.
no.
What a great pitcher.
How
Nestor Cortez.
As I was producing the game last night, obviously Brandon Aldridge, one of our producers,
Yeah.
is a big Yankees
Ooh.
fan, and
He fell to his knees and just started crying.
just about. I mean, all I could hear was a giant this, and then along with a head, not a head, but his helmet, or not helmet, his hat flying around the room.
That's
My
commitment
goodness.
if you're wearing a helmet.
He needs to wear a helmet.
Listen, my brain is all over the place.
What'd you
this morning.
respond with? Get back to work, Brandon. I need my
No.
highlight mix.
No, I didn't. I was like, it's okay, Brandon. They'll get him next game. They'll get him next game. I was the very sincere person about it. I was like, it'll be all right. They'll bounce back.
Quickly, how many Hall of Famers are playing in this series? We won't count Clayton Kershaw because he's not playing. But I would
Future
say
Hall of Famers?
you could make an argument for on the Yankees. Judge could be a Hall of Famer. Soto, Stanton,
Mm.
Cole, possibly.
Yep.
And then on the Dodgers, Freeman, Ohtani, maybe even Mookie.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure, Mookie.
Like that's you could have 7. I think not all of them are surefire Hall of Famers, but there's an argument that you've got 7 Hall of Famers playing in the series, and obviously Clayton Kershaw, he is a surefire Hall of Famer, but he is
The Dodgers are so, I hate that organization. I'll be fully transparent, but there are so many guys on there I love. Like
yeah.
Frederick. I'm gonna keep calling him Frederick because it's funny. How can you not love Ohtani? How can you not love Mookie Betts?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then you and I have invested interest in one Tommy Edman,
Yes.
who is a former Cardinal, just got traded over there.
You know,
But I
and
want to
Jack Flaherty
and
as
Jack
well.
Flaherty.
Yeah.
Hey,
But I like
former Tiger Jack Flaherty.
But yeah,
hey,
former Tiger.
Hey,
Do the Tigers get a World Series ring if he wins?
That'd be
Is that
nice,
how that
wouldn't it?
works?
Yeah, maybe it'd be nice.
everyone does.
Nick Frazier, headline.
Yeah, you know, when I was producing the Preds game last night, obviously Brady Shea scored the game winner 3-2 as it came from behind. I mean, they were down 2-0. Very pivotal point in that game where there was a challenged goal. There was an offsides. So that's probably my big highlight of the night, or I guess highlight of the day for the headline would be Brady Shea. He's been everything that the Preds have needed since, starting the season. And I mean, you sign big name players and you want big name plays. That's a big name play.
It was cool to see them get the win last night because it didn't start the way they wanted it to, for sure. Came back, got the win, back-to-back victories, and you hope they can keep it on track against Columbus later on today. And we'll talk about the Preds coming up in the 10 o'clock hour. Jake Wallman, what is your headline this morning?
I'm going to go with something that is a little bit old in the news, in the sports world this week. Chris Stewart, who's the play-by-play voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide. They do a Zoom,
I saw this.
They do kind of like what we do with the webcams and stuff. They broadcast their
inside the booth.
Yeah, inside the booth broadcast for Alabama games. And in the middle of the broadcast, he said that Tennessee pumps in crowd noise. And, that's interesting because not only does Tennessee pump in crowd noise is illegal in college football like that. You can't pump in crowd noise. And so not only does he say that on Monday, on Tuesday, he comes back and doubles down and said, well, I didn't mean really to say that they pump in crowd noise, but they use speakers that are pointed towards the field to amplify the noise in the stadium, which is also wrong because the speakers are not pointed towards the field. They're pointed towards the crowd that amplifies the band music and stadium with, the music in the
which
stadium.
every college in the nation uses.
Yeah.
Alabama has those speakers inside their own stadium. So, and plus they're making trips to Knoxville every other year. So if you're going to a stadium every other year, like Alabama does, you would think that at some point you would know whether they pump in crowd noise or not. So that's my headline, that Chris Stewart made an absolute fool of himself this week.
It's not often I defend the Vols, but I'm with you.
Yeah, it wasn't a good look.
Yeah.
You're telling me that the Neyland Stadium, basically PA producer that does all of the up and downs of stadium noise and or the music, is basically playing it at a higher decibel than he's supposed to?
No, that's the accusation.
The accusation is that they are amplifying their crowd noise to make it sound louder in there.
Correct. But why are we disagreeing that it is true?
Because it's not.
It's not.
No, it's illegal. You can't. You not illegal. Against the rules.
I'm just doing it just to get under Jake.
Yes.
I just want to see his reaction. Look at him. He's smirking. He's like, this guy.
He's redder than he usually is.
I hate his comments. Why does he say this about the Vols?
No,
I'm joking.
you've defended the Vols more than once this year, so you can.
I mean, I haven't gone 11-1.
That's
so
true.
Who's of the three of us? Who's on the Vols hit list?
Probably you.
Yeah, that's right. I wear that.
I'll be
Although
there
Vols
soon.
Twitter loves me for some reason. I don't know why.
They love you more than WKU Twitter,
Oh,
which is
God. WKU Twitter does not like me.
Vols Twitter hates David Janes, by the way. Did you see that?
I didn't
this
know
weekend?
that.
That
Yeah.
blew up.
David tweeted like, I hate seeing Tennessee fans this happy, and like 100 Vols fans hopped in his comments. So
well, get used to it, David.
yeah, that's a good one, Jake. That was definitely a weird situation with Chris Stewart this weekend. Quickly, I will because I don't know what our show is going to look like next week with Vanderbilt football. I want to, as Jake Wallman said, I want a shameless plug. Vanderbilt women's basketball starts a week from Monday.
Hey,
I just want to give a quick preview. And, if you're listening out there, you're a fan of good basketball, get out to Memorial Gym this year for some games. Vandy women's basketball going to be good. Coming off first NCAA tournament appearance in a decade, first NCAA tournament win in 11 years. Brought in a 5-star McDonald's All-American freshman, Michaela Blakes. She's going to be fantastic. 2 really good transfers. Jane Waba from Pepperdine. She's a 4-year starter over there. And Leilani Kapanis. She's one of the best defensive players in Penn State history. Top 10 in blocks, top 10 in steals, and coming over for her graduate season. So, and returning everybody but Jordan Cambridge, which is awesome.
Hey.
So, I can't wait for the season to start. We've got our Education Day game where they bus in all of the elementary schoolers.
hey, that's great.
It's a cool atmosphere.
I would have loved that in school.
It's 11 a.m. next Monday against Lipscomb. So November 4th, 11 a.m.
Field trip
against Lipscomb. And yeah, you get all the field trips coming in there. It's a cool atmosphere. You got to take some Tylenol before because, you might get a headache, but it is fun.
What do they do at halftime? Put them down for a nap?
I think they do some sort of like cool kid related like halftime show, like
Puppet
something,
show or something?
yeah, something that maybe like frisbee dogs or something like that. I don't know. Something
I'd be entertained by frisbee dogs.
I don't know what it is, but
and it'll be loud in there as well.
Exactly. It's a good atmosphere. So
they pump in crowd noises there.
So excited for that. And again, just a quick preview there. If you want to listen, we'll be on 94.9 The Fan every game. 15 minutes before tip-off, I'll have the pregame show. Should be a fun season. And then our first night game, if you want to come after work or after school, whatever, is November 8th, that Friday against Austin Peay. So lots to look forward to. Should be a fun season. I'll get my shameless plug out of the way there. And if we do have an extended show next week, if Vandy plays a little bit later, I can dive more into some of that stuff 2 days before the season. Those are our headlines. Connor, what is our question of the day today?
Okay, so I was driving in this morning and I was just in a mental state thinking about sports, of course. And I like to listen to music on the way all the time, every day. So the Sabrina Carpenter song, the Please, 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 or whatever came on. And I was thinking, I was kind of listening to the lyrics and I was like, this is about the Titans in a way. Don't prove I'm right. So I got to thinking, my sports life is sad right now.
Yeah.
All my teams suck. So my question for our listeners out there is, what song perfectly describes your sports teams right now?
It's a good one.
And that's not my answer, but we'll get there.
We will get to our answers at the top of the 10 o'clock hour. If you'd like to answer, you can hit us on our text line. 615-737-1025 is the phone number. Our phone lines are driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. That's a good question. I'm going to have to put some thought into that. What is
and I'm banning lemonade mouth for you.
Can't use She's So Gone as
who's she? Amy?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. We will think about it and we will give our answers at the top of the 10 o'clock hour. It's a good question. What song encapsulates how your sports teams are making you feel at the moment? 615-737-1025 is the phone number. When we come back, we'll be joined by the voice of the Commodores, Andrew Allegretta, going to preview Vanderbilt and Texas coming up later today from First Bank Stadium. That's up next here on 4's Company, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. 4's Company, 1025, 1063, The Game. Happy Saturday morning. We are off and rolling. Wrapped up the headlines, and now we are pleased to be joined on our phone lines driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com by the voice of the Vanderbilt Commodores, Andrew Allegretta. Andrew, how are we feeling this morning? It's got to be a nice feeling waking up knowing you're calling a ranked matchup over at First Bank today.
I mean, I'm doing great. I will say, Jake, I've never actually asked, are you at Lyman Jake because Jake Lyman was taken?
I believe so. I mean, I made my Twitter account when I was probably like 14 years old, so I don't remember exactly, but I think that is what it was. His Lyman or Jake Lyman was taken.
There's another Jake Lyman roaming around the streets somewhere out there.
I mean, I went with just A. Allegretta because Andrew Allegretta is ferociously long. So we've got to abbreviate it somehow.
Maybe I will see if I can switch it. Maybe the imposter Jake Lyman has gone away from his Twitter account. So maybe we'll see if we can change it. Andrew, big one over at First Bank Stadium today. Number 5 Texas, number 25 Vanderbilt. Against Alabama a few weeks ago, Clark Lee said that he wanted to be a 10-possession game. He wanted to keep that offense off the field as much as possible. It ended up working exactly the way he hoped it would. Do you think that's the same game plan today against Texas?
I think that's the same game plan for Vanderbilt every single time. I mean, I think they talked about Vanderbilt's offense on the field and Ball State's offense off the field last week. I think you can play a team from the MAC or you could play a team ranked in the top 5, and Vanderbilt's going to kind of try to take that strategy into the ball game. So I've got no doubt that, third down conversions will be ultra critical for Vanderbilt's offense. Remember, between the Alabama game and the Kentucky game, those back-to-back SEC wins, Vanderbilt was 20 for 31 on third down conversions offensively. If they're on the field and Texas is off the field, obviously things are going well for Vanderbilt.
We're talking to Andrew Allegretta, voice of the Vanderbilt Commodores. Andrew, Texas obviously has just an electric offense, maybe one of the best in the country. Struggled a little bit against Georgia last week, but they may come back with a fury this week. How well does Vanderbilt's defense stack up against this offense?
That's a good question. There's a couple of questions that I have going into this game. First off is the overall health of Quinn Ewers. Now, Steve Sarkisian talked about it throughout the course of the week and said Ewers is totally fine, so on and so forth. But at times he has not looked sharp versus Oklahoma or versus Georgia. And then there's the fact that one of their best playmakers, Isaiah Bond, was listed as doubtful on their injury report. Not to say that they don't have tremendous assets beyond those two guys. They obviously do. There's some guy named Arch Manning that could come into the ball game, and you have to be careful what you wish for in some of those situations. The other part of this for Vanderbilt is the fact that Langston Patterson and Miles Capers were both upgraded to, I believe, probable for Vanderbilt for this game, if not questionable, which at this point in time, I think we kind of feel like is a go for those guys. So that's really significant. You're talking about 2 of Vanderbilt's best defensive players being available and potentially one of the better playmakers for Texas being out in this game. Not to say that that's going to swing it, but those margins are critical. And really, guys, sometimes football becomes just brutally simplistic. And one of the things that Texas has struggled with throughout the course of this season is losing turnovers. They're 13th in the conference in turnovers lost. They've given up 12 of them so far this season through 7 games. And if they give up 2, 3, 4 turnovers here today versus Vanderbilt, and Vanderbilt continues to protect the football, there's your extra possessions. There's your third down conversions going the right way for Vanderbilt. Again, right back to the same thing. If Vanderbilt's offense is on the field, Quinn Ewers, Arch Manning, whoever is on the sideline, then again, things have progressed well for Vandy today.
Andrew, on that same note about, quarterbacks, if it's Arch Manning, if it's Quinn Ewers, there was a report yesterday from Pete Nakos about Isaiah Bond being doubtful for today, along with a defensive back for Texas as well, who's been pretty pivotal for the last name. Hopefully I'm not butchering his name, but Andrew Makuba, if that sounds about right. Anyways, both of those guys have been pretty pivotal on the defensive side and the offensive side of the ball. I mean, that's got to bode well for Vanderbilt in some regard, right?
I think in these games, guys, like you're going to take every edge that you can take. Like we're talking about a top 25 matchup inside First Bank Stadium, which is great. But at the same time, we recognize that Vanderbilt is still the underdog. And I do think Vanderbilt plays at its best when it's got that chip on the shoulder. Likely in Jerry Kill, every piece of motivation that you could want to push those guys forward throughout the course of the week and perform better here today. I mean, like in Southeastern Conference play, you're going to take every single edge that you can get. But I also, again, I just like you look up and down the roster. It's like, oh no, the guy that's going to replace Quinn Ewers is, a Manning, or the guy that replaces Bond is Wingo, who is the next best freshman wide receiver outside of Ryan Williams at Alabama. Like, there's an interesting conversation about how name, image, likeness has, to an extent, minimized some of the depth for teams like Alabama, Georgia, and Texas, which is why I think you're seeing more diversity of results throughout the course of the year. But at the same time, those guys are still trotting out like, some other dude that was the number 4 nationally ranked wide receiver in his recruiting class. So you'll take what margins you can get, but you respect that the depth is still ferocious for Texas.
Andrew, I want to talk, you mentioned Texas's quarterbacks, but I want to talk about the quarterback that resides here in Nashville with Diego Pavia. When was the first time you saw him over the offseason in practice and said that, oh, I think we could really have something with this guy?
I'm going to be very, very honest. I don't think I felt that way until the Virginia Tech game. I remember watching him in practice and thinking, I hoped his skills translate to the SEC level. In fact, I remember watching some games of him with New Mexico State when I heard, oh, there might be this migration of people from Las Cruces to Nashville. And I go, boy, I hope the skill set translates to the SEC. And what I didn't account for, and what I was wildly wrong about, is that when Diego Pavia steps between the lines, he unleashes this unbelievable competitor, this sense of unique belief that just permeates the entire team. And I kind of failed to see exactly all of the ways that his football IQ is off the charts and his competitive streak is off the charts in fall practice. That's not to say that I thought he was bad, but we would kind of go back and forth and go, okay, here's Diego. He's the leader, but he doesn't run a 4.4. Here's Nate Johnson behind him. He does run a 4.4, but he still needs to improve his accuracy. So there was some waffling in the first week or two of practice, at least, in my eyes. That's not to say Coach Kill or Coach Beck or Coach Clark. It was just, I didn't necessarily know what we had. And then Diego stepped between the lines versus Virginia Tech, and there was no doubt. Diego Pavia left no doubt on August 31st that he was the unquestioned leader of this team. And the way that he's carried it through the first 7 games has been pretty special.
Andrew, you look at teams throughout Vanderbilt history, especially back in the about 10 years ago, they've had some great wins, none compared to the ones that they've pulled off this year and could even pull off today. How does this Vanderbilt team stack up all time against those teams?
So it's in the conversation. Now, the conversation certainly is not complete. 1982, they won 8 games. And then there was some of those back-to-back seasons for James Franklin. So if they win today, it's their 6th win. We haven't started to scratch 8 wins or 9 wins for this team yet. I will say this. If they win today, Vanderbilt is bowl eligible on October 26th. I freely admit that I don't know how bowl eligibility worked back in 1955 and 1974 when they made their first couple of bowl games. But I will tell you this, it would be the first time that they hit 6 wins in the month of October ever. Not 82, not 2011, 12, 13 with James Franklin. This would be the season that they get to 6 wins and bowl eligibility in the month of October. Could it all crumble after that? Entirely possible. This conference is way too tough to just say, okay, they've beaten Bama, if they can pull the upset today, they've beaten Texas, and they're going to cakewalk to wins versus Auburn, South Carolina, LSU, and Tennessee. That's absurd. It would be just their sixth win. But a victory here today certainly would nudge this group of Vanderbilt Commodores toward the very, very top of the all-time teams list in Vanderbilt history.
Andrew, last one for you. The one thing I've noticed this year compared to, the last couple seasons that I've watched this team is that it felt like in the past when the momentum swung the other way, Vandy didn't have a punch back. This year, Virginia Tech comes all the way back, takes a 7-point lead in the fourth quarter. Vandy punches right back, sends it to overtime, wins the game. Alabama goes right down the field to start the second half to make it a 2-point game. Vandy doesn't flinch. What do you think the reason for that is? Is it the quarterback? Is it the change in the coaching staff? Or is it kind of a combination of all of it?
I do think, first off, Jake, it's like you spent plenty of time in our booth. Oh, wait, that's right. You have. I do think it's the quarterback. I really do. I think he has just absolutely instilled a sense of confidence in this group that has been completely unmatched from any quarterback, any player that I really feel like I've seen, certainly at Vanderbilt and perhaps at other places. Like I've seen some good quarterbacks and still some confidence. Kind of the next closest that I can compare him to from that standpoint, guys, is honestly Michael Pratt. If you remember him from Tulane when they beat USC a couple of years ago in the Cotton Bowl. Michael Pratt went on to be, I think he's a backup quarterback or like a third or fourth stringer, if he's even still with the Packers. Like he wasn't this elite NFL prospect, but he just had a way about him that people followed him and believed. And Diego's got all of that as well. And there's a lot to be said about the coaching staff changes that have put the players in the right position. Clearly, Tim Beck's offense with Jerry Kill is really special, really, really special. And the fact that Clark is back as the defensive coordinator is really significant. Like that is two of the best OC and DCs in the Southeastern Conference right now. But I don't think any of it goes without Diego's sense of belief. So, yeah, if you're asking me kind of like what has buoyed this team, it's not just Diego, but man, it's hard. It's really hard to overstate how important Diego Pavia has been to everyone listening understands exactly the psychological hurdles that Vanderbilt football is up against. And Diego has come in here and just not cared and knocked down every single one of them and grabbed 100 of his brothers and moved them in the right direction.
It's true. Diego, he's been fantastic, and reasons he's getting put in the Heisman conversation for what he's done at Vanderbilt. Andrew, thank you for your time. Have a good call today. I will see you over there at First Bank shortly.
Yes, you will.
Thanks, Andrew.
See you guys.
Vanderbilt and Texas today in Nashville. Pre-game coverage on 94.9 The Fan starts at 1:30 and then kickoff at 3:15. It should be a fun one. We will react to what Andrew had to say coming up next and look at some other big games around college football going on today here on 4's Company, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Getting spooky on this Saturday morning.
Overrated holiday. You heard it here.
The Monster Mash.
No, not me.
4's Company, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Tune into 102.5 and 106.3 The Game today, right after us at 11 a.m. for our college football game of the week, Oklahoma and Ole Miss. Presented by Twin Peaks Restaurants. Take your tailgate to Twin Peaks, home of 29-degree drafts and wall-to-wall sports. You're not a Halloween guy, Connor?
Never been a Halloween guy.
I'm not a huge Halloween guy.
I mean,
we should have dressed up today for the stream.
oh my God. No. I mean, if you were to ask me my top 5 holidays, Halloween would not crack it.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Christmas.
As a kid, I enjoyed Halloween, but probably
a-
since I was 12, I really don't care all that much.
I was thinking about this the other day, how much Halloween kind of takes the center stage as a kid, because it's kind of like Christmas, where you get all these presents on Christmas and you're really looking forward to Christmas. As a kid, you're really looking forward to Halloween because it's the most candy you're ever going to get on one day in a single year.
I don't know. 4th of July for me was pretty big. I
love
just
4th
loved
of July.
the fireworks, man, would always get me
As
pumped
an
up
adult,
all
I
day.
love 4th of July more.
As
I
an
agree with
adult,
that.
I'm a bigger 4th of July guy.
As a kid, we always got Roman candles, and you're not supposed to do this, point them at people.
Yeah.
But just it's fun. You're not pointing directly at somebody, but off to the side, throwing a spoon.
You
at
just
somebody.
incriminated yourself.
No, I'm
bottle
just
rockets. Did you point
Put 'em
bottle
in
rockets
cuffs.
at
We
people?
used to live out
No,
in a more rural area, so I mean, we could set those off.
And you have those little things you throw.
Yes.
Yeah.
Little poppets.
Yeah.
we would literally be setting off fireworks in our front yard. And one year, I'll never forget this. My dad said, "Yeah, we're not getting fireworks this year." And I was really, really upset. So, like a good parent, straps me in the back of the car. We go to Walmart. I get a car, like a
Little.
like cars, like
Oh,
car
gotcha.
fireworks?
Yeah.
no, like Hot Wheel cars.
Yeah.
But like Cars, the movie.
Like
Lightning McQueen.
Lightning
Oh.
McQueen. Yeah.
Ka-chow.
You lost me there for a minute.
Well, as we always do, we go off on tangents on this show, 4's Company. Big thanks to Andrew Allegretta for joining us in the last segment, talking about Vanderbilt and Texas. Top 25 matchup over there on West End coming up at 3:15. You can tune in on 94.9 The Fan at 1:30. Guys, do we think Vandy has a shot here to pull off another top 5 upset within a 3-week span at home? And as Andrew said, you lock up bowl eligibility with a win today, and you put yourself in a position where you're not out of the college football playoff conversation. I'm not saying it's likely because, yes, you'd probably have to beat LSU and Tennessee, but you put yourself in a spot where you have to talk about Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I mean, most certainly it makes the committee have to reshuffle their cards a little bit for sure. I mean, as for today, Vandy, I think, has a really good chance. If I had to put a percentage on it, I'd say 60%.
Whoa.
Wow.
Maybe a little high, but I really do think Vandy has a solid chance of beating Texas today.
Wow.
I don't know.
I love the optimism from Nick Frazier.
It's just when you hear the news from, On 3 Sports about Isaiah Bond not playing, and this defensive back who I cannot pronounce his name, unfortunately. I apologize to him. But he's a vital piece of their defense. 25 tackles, solo tackles, 2 interceptions. And then along with, the quarterback issue. If Quinn Ewers is still half then you got to put Arch in there. I'm not saying Arch is not a terrible quarterback, but he's not a Quinn Ewers. So, that's where you get to the point of Vandy's defense is going to step up to the game. I think Clark Lee has something up his sleeve today for the defensive side of the ball. If they get a defensive turnover and or a defensive touchdown, that's where this game's decided.
And that Alabama game, they were missing Kendrick Law for that game too. So missing a wide receiver, it kind of plays in the same way. I think Vandy's got to get off to a good start.
Yes.
Which is the key in almost every game. But you saw it against Alabama. Vandy went down the field for that long 9-10 play touchdown drive. Second play on defense, Milroe throws a pick 6. Boom, you're up 13-0. They don't need exactly that. It doesn't have to be that snap you're up by double digits, but they've got to start fast. They've got to set the tone. Because
they do.
If Texas goes up 14-0, Vandy's going to have a tough time.
They have very different play styles. Texas is more of a up tempo. I don't want to say no huddle, but they're a very fast offense. Vanderbilt, as we've seen this season, kind of likes to take a slow drive. Play it. I mean, they're going on 8 to 10 minute drives.
I mean,
sometimes
they had a drive in the second quarter against Alabama that was 9 minutes and 50 seconds. Yeah. Extended by a couple of Alabama penalties, but if you can have one of those drives for a touchdown and keep Ewers or Manning or whoever it is off the field, that's huge for Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
So let me pose a question to both of you. Yesterday, when I was hosting with the suit, Charles McCabe
Charles Keith
had on
McCabe.
Jordan Zaslow, who is actually doing some stuff over at Vandy today hosting. I asked him about the time of possession for Vanderbilt, and does Vandy need to attack them head on or do the possession game like they did against Virginia Tech and Alabama? And he mentioned take them head on. And so, like, to y'all's point, is it a time where Vandy actually does need to do more time of possession rather than run and gun style offense?
I think you got to go with what's worked, right?
Yeah, you stick with what's gotten you this far.
Like Alabama ran 45 plays in that game. Vandy ran like 70 something. Like that's what you need. You need to out snap them by 20 or 30. And as Andrew was saying, third down is going to be massive in this game because Vandy, the way they run their offense with so much quarterback run and option, they're going to be in a lot of 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3s. You got to get those. I think that's the difference in this game. Turnovers for sure. Like you probably got to make Texas make a mistake or two. But I think those 3rd and 2, 3, 4s, can Pavia get the first down and extend the drive, chew more clock, get you down the field? That's going to be big for today's game.
Yeah, I agree. You did say something I want to disagree with you on.
Oh.
Arch Manning is better than Quinn Ewers, in my opinion.
Well, I was just saying either or. Like,
Yeah, no, I
right now, is Arch Manning better than Quinn Ewers?
Right now,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I think long term, yes, I would take Manning over Ewers. Like, if I'm looking at NFL prospects, I'd take Manning. But right now, is Arch Manning better than Quinn Ewers?
I don't know.
I don't know about that.
It's close. I'd say it
is close.
I disagree. I say Quinn Ewers is better, just based off last week, where Quinn Ewers couldn't get the offense going, and so they put in Arch, and then he couldn't get the offense going.
I think that was just Texas as a whole was struggling.
Yeah,
but
I mean, Georgia's just Georgia.
Yeah.
I
hey,
mean,
who told you? You guys should listen to me more.
Connor
Anyway,
Newt did.
Who told you?
I was not here, so in my mind, he doesn't know anything. So,
well, I know.
I mean,
I knew you were engaged before you said it, so I know all.
I don't know how you knew that. That was a good guess.
the Eye of Sauron.
I just looked at you and I was like, this guy looks like a fiance.
See, David is the only one who follows me on Instagram around here. So Max yesterday
let me fix that.
Found out. Nick Frazier found out. Brandon Aldridge already knew because I guess Vandy mentioned it on the air last week or something like that. So,
yeah, I came in blind. I had no idea.
Yeah, I had to tell Andrew because I missed the Ball State game last week. So I had to tell him why. So
I looked in your eyes and I saw
you just knew.
Just love. I knew.
The last 2 weeks, Connor and I were on the same page. Today we're not. It's y'all two that are on the same page.
Yeah,
I mean,
I just have chemistry with everyone here. I'm just that guy.
You're the glue guy around here.
The glue guy. I'm Colton Sissons around here.
The glue guy.
615-737-1025 is our phone number if you want to chime in. Also, you should answer our question of the day. Connor wants to know what song represents how you're feeling about your sports teams right now. We've already gotten a couple answers on the text line. We'd love to hear from you. 615-737-1025. We'll give our answers coming up at 10, but we're nearing a quarter till 10. And we know what time it is.
I'm encouraged. Guess who just texted me?
Who texted you?
Robbie Stanley.
What did he say?
He said, go get him, Connor Newt. So I'm going to go get him. This one's for you, Robbie.
Newt's Notes is next. You're on 4's Company, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
his name and he appears. I believe in,
Connor Newt.
I believe in,
Newt's notes.
cause they love him in London and Paris and Tokyo, America, Scotland, and
No
Canada,
introduction needed.
Mexico.
It's Newt's Notes time. Connor, take it away.
Okay. So last week, Jake, I don't know if you listened. The lists have returned. The top 10 countdowns have
I saw you did mascots last week.
Yeah, it was a good hit. A lot of people loved it. So I'm back with another one this week.
I love it.
Let's talk college football entrances. Now, one of my favorite parts of the game, to be honest with you, for any team I've been to. I think the new college football game is kind of fueled. I've learned a lot about teams' entrances, actually. Some things I didn't know, some things, because there's a lot of detail in that game. So I have a top 10. Some of it may surprise you. We'll see.
I can't wait.
I hope you can, because we got to go from 10 to 1.
Let's do it.
Okay. Number 10, Clemson Tigers.
That's the one that I was gonna.
Really?
Clemson fans love to think that running down that stupid hill is the greatest thing that's ever happened to college sports. I don't understand it.
It's unique. I don't think there's any team in the nation that does it like they do. But what ruins it for me is Dabo.
Yeah.
Just full running a 40 time, just sprinting.
Yeah, I'm out on running down the hill. I could see it being 10. Like, I'm glad you put it there.
No, it's not
because
top 5.
Clemson fans think it is the best. They say it's the most iconic entrance in college football.
No.
You are running down a hill.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Somebody's going to tear their ACL and then they're going to stop that.
Yeah. I mean, there are examples of it. Like, there was one, I think they were playing Notre Dame. You see the bus come in right behind the hill.
Yeah.
And it was cool. But anyways, number 9, I think this one hits home for you. Coach Lyman, the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Yeah. We're having a good start to year 4 of the Lyman era in Ohio State.
Yeah.
We're number 1 in the country.
Okay.
We got 11 5-stars locked in. So
the Notre Dame Fighting Irish right now are 94 overall. Unreal.
there you go.
But I mean, Ohio State's got a great
They do.
classic. You see the script Ohio formation. They come out.
Dot the I.
Mm-hmm. And of course they got the scarlet and gray on always. Sometimes they wear the black, which I think is really cool. A lot of Ohio State fans don't like it, but I think it's cool.
Coach Lyman wears the black every once in a while.
Yeah. Coach Newt used to wear the black. Coach Newt would wear the gray. I love the gray.
The gray ones are good.
The grays are awesome. But at number 8, Auburn. The War Eagle.
Yeah, the War Eagle.
Soars over the
Yeah.
field. That's about all that's
a
special
good one.
about that one.
I like
but
that one.
it's traditional. It's cool. Number 7, Coach Newt, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Yeah.
Come out of the
Play
tunnel,
like a champion.
play like a
today.
champion. You hear the fight song, the gold light behind them. They come out, and then their kickoff tradition is cool because they play the "Here Come the Irish" song, and then shipping up to Boston fires. And you can't beat Pete Weber in the Fighting Irish.
No, that Notre Dame is definitely deserving of being on this list. That's a good one.
It's a great one. That's I never skip the intros anyway in the game, just because it's the tradition for me. But in the game, they do all of that, and then it flashes to see like players praying in the end zone. And I'm like, this is how I know I'm in the right place.
And it's a good build-up for
It's
when
a
you
great
play.
build-up.
Yeah.
Another Coach Newt team, my old team, number 6, the Oregon Ducks. Oregon, they come out of the tunnel. They have the Just Do It as their bar. They touch that.
Yeah.
But the best part is Puddles the Duck comes out on a motorcycle, revving it up, and they play their fight song, which they have a great fight song, by the way. Really cool.
They do. I know. I've been playing Oregon because Big Ten.
Big Ten.
And that's a good fight song. It's up there.
I mean, they got it all. The uniforms, the fight song.
Big
Puddles.
fan of the uniforms
Puddles.
with the orange face mask and the white helmet. The actual
the duck ones?
Oh, yeah.
Those are awesome.
Hands down the best ones.
Awesome. Number 5, LSU.
Yeah.
Of course, they come out in the tunnel, purple and gold lights, the wind bar, and then they come out. You can't beat prime time in Death Valley.
That is bucket list for me, is a night game in Death
He's
Valley.
been there, and I want to. You've been there, right?
I have, and I sat at the very top of Death Valley, which is
Oh
crazy.
my goodness.
Yeah,
that's-
tickets were like $35, and even at the very top of it, there were still great seats.
I love it.
Saw everything.
I mean,
It was a telecast view.
was that the game Mississippi State won?
No, they actually came back and they attempted an onside kick and they didn't get it.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
it was
that's-
still a really good
I'm
game.
with you. That's bucket list for me. I would love. I really want to go to every SEC stadium.
Yeah.
I've been to 3: Vanderbilt, Alabama, Ole Miss.
I think I've only been to Vanderbilt. I don't know if
Really?
I've been to another SEC football
Ooh.
stadium.
My friends are trying to get me to go to Neyland, and I was like, I don't really want to do that.
That's
In
one
blue.
I wouldn't call Neyland bucket list for me, but it is one that I do want to see.
Yeah.
I haven't seen my own team
Really.
in Lexington. I've been to Rupp Arena. I've never been to Kroger Field.
I'm not a fan of the tailgating scene out at Neyland. It's just like you
Really?
tailgate
I
it-
wasn't
You
a
don't
fan
know
of,
where to go. You got to go to the right spots.
I wasn't a fan of the Grove, to be honest with you.
Don't
Really?
you
Too-
dare.
I mean, it's great if you're into that tailgating.
We got to get Nick Frazier and G10.
Listen, I know where to tailgate. I know where the party's at, and I just didn't like
Look
the
at
party.
it. Look at
all
this
right?
guy.
Hey, this guy went to Father Ryan. He knows all about party.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
I don't think you took that the way I hoped
3
you
of
would.
4 Bishop's Cups. Yeah, we party.
3 of 4. I won 4 of 4. So,
All right.
oh.
All right.
Number
continue.
4, Florida State, the Seminoles.
Yeah.
Can't beat the Seminoles, of course. Chief Osceola, is that it?
That sounds right.
Yeah, Osceola comes out on the horse with the flaming thing, puts it right through the center. The
The
crowd's
flaming steak. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
doing the war chant. Can't beat the I mean, a lot of teams can beat the Seminoles this year, but
Not their entrance.
not their entrance.
Even the senior living assistants.
All 1,300 of their fans over there can't beat it.
Yep.
All right, we're in the top 3.
Uh-oh.
Jake Wallman's looking at me like, where the hell are they? They're right here. Number 3, the Volunteers.
Power T.
I mean, there's one thing about the Vols that I do love, and that's their entrance. Power T opens up. Smokey the dog, the real dog, comes out. Rocky Top, of course, playing. Crowd singing along.
Wait, well, now, are you going off the CFB entrances?
No,
or
this is real life.
they don't play Rocky Top when the T opens. They
Oh.
play down the field. But
Uh,
I'm being a stickler.
okay.
Power T. I think this is the one you thought that I was going to have a problem with. The Power T is awesome. That is a
No.
good
It's
entrance.
a great entrance.
Yep.
It's cool, especially at night. I feel like next week we're gonna see some spooky Rocky Top.
Yeah,
Ooh.
maybe.
Maybe
Maybe.
a little blackout action. Number 2. This is where Jake Lyman is like, "Don't you do it," and I'm not gonna do it. I promise you. Penn State,
Okay.
Yeah.
That's respectable.
whiteout. Penn State. You got the what is it? Kern Crack 500. Is that the song or is it something?
What is the song?
You know what it sounds like. Anyways, they're doing the "We Are Penn State"
Yeah.
chants.
Mhm.
Of course, they come out locked arms.
Is that
Oh,
Zo-
wow.
Zombie Nation?
Zombie Nation. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Nittany Lion opens the gate. That crowd goes absolutely ballistic.
I got to tell you, Coach Lyman, last season, we went to Happy Valley, whiteout snow game.
Oh,
I was sitting there watching that entrance. I was like, we might lose by 50.
Yeah.
We won 28-27 final.
oh,
Not bad.
But that entrance, you could feel it through the screen. I was like, oh my goodness,
yeah.
I don't want to be playing this game.
I sidetrack. I'm at Notre Dame.
Uh-oh.
I'm in the big house this week.
Oh.
Prime time. I haven't played it yet, but I was like, what's this gonna look like? So I opened it up. They are decked out in maize
Hmm.
and
Nice.
maize, loud. But there can only be one answer. Hit it, woman.
There's a buildup.
Are you gonna chant or what? We gotta get
Let's go.
Okies. Oh yeah.
Do they still do the lunchbox, the pail?
The lunch pail, yeah. Even though Bud Foster's gone.
I mean,
Yeah,
this is-
I mean, I was back there last week. It never gets old.
you see the video. I think it was against North Carolina, maybe a couple years ago. They were in orange. That is the best video on YouTube.
So the main reason why I wanted to go back last week is there was rumors that Metallica was going to show up and play it live. Last Thursday. It didn't end up happening.
Hey, they showed up in orange though, and that was awesome.
Yes,
Those were awesome.
It was a fun one last week.
I like their helmets too.
Yeah, the script hokies
Yeah.
on the side. That was cool. The best part about it is, like, obviously the jumping's fun. The best part is when they cut out the music ahead of the second chorus and the whole stadium
Yeah,
sings.
that's my favorite
a
part is
cappella.
that they sing it.
and it's usually like during the coin toss, and like it's electric.
The
If
European mind cannot.
that
comprehend.
is one, like, again, I've seen Enter Sandman probably 50 times in my life. Never gets old. That is one. If you haven't seen it, that's one you should go to.
That's a bucket list. For
Yep,
me.
it's up
Those
there.
top two are bucket lists. I would love to go to Whiteout.
Whiteout's up there for me too. I wanted to. So Tech was supposed to play Penn State the COVID year, and I think they might have done a whiteout, and I wanted to go to that one, but they canceled it because of COVID. So
my mom says the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders entrance beats all of these. Last time I checked, the Dallas Cowboys don't play college football, and I don't know.
I have one omission that I want to ask about. South Carolina Sandstorm.
South Carolina was. I was heartbroken to. There were a couple that I was like, these deserve to be on there, but there's so many good entrances.
I know it is tough.
Alabama, I've seen that one in person. Actually, the last home opener for Nick Saban, I was there. It was against MTSU.
Yeah.
But
any honorable mentions by chance?
Alabama, South Carolina, I'd throw up there.
No, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, with
Texas.
the buggy.
That's all I'm thinking about is the buggy.
Yeah,
man. And then the
or
big.
what's it called? The
Sooner Schooner?
The Sooner Schooner. Yeah.
Didn't it fall last week?
It did.
I feel like it falls more often.
It falls
than
like
it
once
should.
a year.
They just don't understand the curb weight on that thing.
Yeah.
Texas
would
where
be up there.
Sark
Devo.
screams at the guy holding him back, and then they go, "Is that a tradition, or does that just happen?"
No, I think that's just
Okay,
natural.
gotcha.
I feel like there's Michigan, of course.
Yeah.
Icon. The Blue Club supports you or whatever.
And not an entrance, but I will preface: Wisconsin jump around is one of the best
Yeah.
traditions in college football.
Iowa wave at the.
Yeah,
that's one of the nicest
over
ones.
Kinnick. That's you did a good job with that list.
It was hard.
I mean, it's tough to come up with 10 and leave out some of those. So I respect that list. There's nothing that I really have a problem with there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's spot on.
If we are forgetting any, let us know on our text line, 615-737-1025. And also, we want to know what songs represent how you feel about your sports teams. That is our question of the day. We've got a couple answers on the text line. You can text 615-737-1025. You can also call us. Our phone lines are driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com, and we will give our answers coming up next. Here on 4's Company, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
Do I know?
I'm gonna have him come back with the songs
Of
throughout the segments.
what songs?
It's funny.
Oh.
4's Company, hour number 2, here on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game. Jake Lyman, Nick Frazier, Connor Newt, Jake Wallman. We are presented by LPL Financial and Patrick Conger. Before we get into our question of the day, Nick Frazier, who is our Middle Tennessee Athlete of the Week this week?
Well, it is a senior quarterback over at DCA, Donaldson Christian Academy, Mitchell Carey. He's a 2024 senior, 90 completions for 1,400 passing yards, 23 passing touchdowns, 246 rushing yards, and 4 rushing touchdowns, combined for a total of 1,600 yards and 27 touchdowns. My goodness, some stats here.
Wow.
Let's see, career stats at DCA, 337 completions, 5,364 passing yards, 70 passing touchdowns, 60.3 completion percentage. Some solid stats. In the classroom, Mitchell is a 4.05 weighted GPA and plans on attending the Air Force Academy, or the United States Coast Guard Academy. So, hey, good for him.
Wow.
Thank you for your service.
Awesome
in
stuff.
advance.
And in the community, Mitchell has served meals for local retirement villages and also volunteers that sets up flags in Donaldson for the Veterans Day celebration. So good for Mitchell.
That's awesome. Great stuff, Mitchell.
Thanks for doing good stuff in the community as well.
Great football player, good student, and joining our military one way or the other with Air Force or the Coast Guard. So
I mean, Army and Navy right now are undefeated. There's some teams there that are undefeated.
Navy's about to lose one, in my opinion.
You think they're gonna lose today to Notre Dame?
they got the Irish today.
I got Coach Newt. Coach Newt doesn't lose. Just saying.
I don't think it's happening.
Really?
I think that there's a very good element for some chaos today.
I like chaos.
Yeah, I'm all for
I'm
it.
an agent of chaos.
If it doesn't involve Tennessee, give it to me.
Yeah.
Let
We'll
me know
see.
if you don't understand that reference.
You're an agent of chaos.
Do you get it?
Is
I
that
feel like I do know it.
Wallman's about to get it.
Is that the movie with Steve Carell?
No.
Dang.
Were you thinking Get Smart?
Yes, get smart.
It's Dark Knight.
Oh, right. Yes, it is.
I'm an agent of chaos.
And we continue.
All right, let's get to our question of the day. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. Our phone line is driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. You can text or call if you have an answer to our question. Connor Newt wants to know, what is a song that represents how you feel about your sports teams right now? This could be NFL, college football, baseball, basketball, hockey, whatever you want.
Mine's all
It
of
could
them.
be all of them. And I'm in the same boat as you. We'll get to our answers in a second. We have a couple answers on our text line. Wes from Hermitage has a few in mind. None of them are all that positive. In the End by Linkin Park, which is, in the end, it doesn't really
even
matter.
matter.
Yeah. Dear Agony, Breaking Benjamin, I Feel Like Dying, Lil Wayne, Worthless by Eli, and Gave Up by 9 Inch Nails.
That list makes me sad.
Wes Hermitage depressing us on this Saturday morning.
I mean, he's about to
He
fuel
said,
my thing.
Need I continue? Morning, fellas. So
Good morning, Wes.
good morning, Wes.
I hope
Thank
you're
you.
okay.
Yeah.
If you
You
need
know,
help, listen to
you should-
Chase and Big Joe.
you-
They have a message
yeah,
for you.
If
at
you
the end of
want
the
to
show.
call us and talk things out, you're always welcome to.
Have a cup of coffee. That clears things up for some
I
people.
am open for therapeutic appointments.
Buffalo on our text line says, Never Give Up on You by Judah and the Lions for their Green Bay Packers. So I guess the big win against the Texans last week.
Are we sure this isn't Robbie?
Oh, it could be. I don't know. We need,
The
if it
Green
is,
Bay Packers.
if it is Robbie, we need to put Robbie's name in the text line so we know who it is.
As Buffalo.
Or Roy G. Biv. All right, let's get to our answers here. Nick Frazier, what is a song that represents how you feel about your sports teams?
I mean, right now, a lot of my teams are in the same boat as Connor, not doing great. And I'm going to go with Elton John. I guess that's why they call it the blues.
That's a good one.
That's just probably an easy one to choose. But yeah, that's my go-to right now.
I'm gonna go with Luke Combs. Beer Never Broke My Heart. Just because of the one line, football teams have torn this boy apart. It's true. The Titans are not making us feel very good about the present or the future right now. So I'll go with Beer Never Broke My Heart by Luke Combs.
I'll go a little old school. Michael Johnson, Bluer Than Blue.
Hey.
You know that one? Bluer than blue, sadder than sad. Yeah. I mean,
You didn't listen to it on the way here, right?
I did.
Oh boy.
It's a good song. I've been in an 80s groove lately. It was either that one or Phil Collins, Against All Odds. That's a good one.
You know what? Send me your playlist. I feel like we got some common.
Dude, I'm all over the place.
Really?
I'm old stuff.
You got some Conway Twitty in there too?
No, I don't have
Oh,
Con-
all right.
Dude, I didn't know who Conway Twitty was until Chase told me.
Really?
Yeah.
He's on my
On the show. He was like, "Have you ever seen this Family Guy clip? This explains Conway Twitty."
Oh, yeah.
So,
Jake Wallman, you might be a little conflicted here because Vols just beat Alabama.
Yeah.
but the Titans are not doing very well.
Yeah, so
how are you
if
feeling?
you say
wa-
Rocky Top, I'm kicking you off the air.
The way I'm going is so this song excludes the Vols in football, basketball, and baseball. So it mainly covers the Titans and the Braves. I'm going to go with Circles by Post Malone. No. Yeah, just the way the Titans have the way the franchises ran the past 2-3 seasons, it just feels like we're going in circles. And then
You guys all went you went old age. Me and him, we're speaking to the people.
and then the Braves in the playoffs the past 3 seasons, not making it out of their first round games. So
I could go Sound of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel.
And-
Hello, darkness, my
and-
old friend.
and Nick Frazier, I feel you on the Conway Twitty stuff. I've got some Conway Twitty on my playlist.
Yeah, I actually have a vinyl of Conway. It's not mine; it's my grandmother's. But I've
you know what I've been listening to lately? You might like this.
Okay.
Michael Bublé, but like from like 2006.
There's some
He
good
does a
Michael
lot
Bublé.
of like Sinatra, Dean Martin sounding stuff.
I'm with some Michael Bublé. every
might
once in
like
a
that.
while. Yeah,
Dude, I love that kind of
want me
music.
some Josh Groban too.
Love Josh
Yeah,
Groban.
gotta get a little good mixture up in there. It's like
Yeah.
a concoction of solid music.
That's my sad. Well, Michael Bublé I play when I'm feeling good.
He's got a good
Get my
Christmas
pun there.
album.
I don't do Christmas music. I did when I was a kid, but
Oh, it's been blaring for a while now.
really, it's
Yeah, not me.
It's
but
October.
I hear it around. I do.
Yeah, it's
What's Shadur Sanders' song? Maybe that's what
Perfect
we should.
Timing?
Perfect timing.
They
Maybe
told
that's
me
what we
bus-
should.
oh my.
Did you guys know that they make the Colorado band does not play their fight song after they score a touchdown because he's got to play his song over
Yes.
the PA.
Yeah,
Is that like a
That's a
NIL
thing.
that's a
thing?
Dion thing.
Yeah, it's
There was a tweet yesterday because there was like a way too early NFL mock draft that had Shadur going to the Browns, and I forget who it was. It might have been Albert Breer tweeted out, Dion will not let Shadur go to Carolina or Cleveland.
Yeah.
He didn't mention Nashville.
No.
yeah.
I'm not fully in on it, but could I see it happening? Shadur puts butts in seats. That's
So does Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
but Travis Hunter doesn't play quarterback, and the Titans are in dire need
I don't
of
think-
someone who can do that.
I don't think you do it this year. But that doesn't sound like the answer to a question of the day to me, Jake.
I was saying perfect timing by
Anyways.
Shadur Sanders.
Anyways.
If you have any other thoughts on our text line, 615-737-1025, very depressing question of the day today. None of us even tried to be hopeful about anything. We went
No.
full on. I mean,
if
it's tough.
you were to give me one for the Preds,
Well, the Preds are
who are on the rise, they're coming back.
Yeah, what's a good one?
Let's just
Moving
think
on
of
up.
I'm still standing. Elton John.
yeah. What's with the Elton John today?
I don't know. That was just the first one that came to mind.
Moving on up. What's the song they play on
Oh.
game night on ESPN? All the
Oh.
way up.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. all the way.
I think it's a
dude.
Drake song or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Makes me
Um,
mad every time I hear it.
I mean, the
feel like-
Preds are. It's tough when your professional sports teams in town are a combined 3-10.
Yeah.
But
Basketball's coming. I'll be okay. Kentucky hit 21 threes the other day against St. Bernard Academy out in Nashville.
Hey, I've played out there. It's not
Yeah,
a bad
too.
court.
They got a big stadium pulse out there. They got that big stage.
Yeah, they do.
And it's kind of intimidating.
It's on the baseline
yeah,
as
I
well.
used to hang out there right before games. It was just like
Yeah.
that's where I would do my stretches, and
There you
then
go.
layup
Yeah, on top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you go down.
layup
yes.
lines and
Yep.
pass drills.
Jake Lyman looks lost.
Did you never? You didn't experience parochial Nashville basketball?
no,
like
I
we
did not. I've
Jake, back in the day when we were in parochial schools, parochial football was a big thing. So was basketball. Now all these schools that are, parochial league, whatever, they don't do that no more. They all have conglomerated into like feeder teams into either like a JP2 or a Father Ryan.
I was the best stretch four you'd ever see.
I can see it.
I was spreading the floor.
I'm just putting it out there. Parochial league football on Saturday mornings was almost better than college football. Sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, I'm putting it out there.
8 a.m.
I'm sad I missed it. I'm trying to think. I guess Vanderbilt in town we could be happy about. Maybe they win today.
What's one for Vanderbilt?
We could say Dynamite, but maybe not even the fight song.
the Teo Cruz.
The Tayo
one?
Cruz one.
I remember that.
Tie it in with the fight song a little bit. I don't know. There hasn't been a ton in Nashville to be all that happy about sports wise over the last couple of months. Outside of Vandy, we got basketball starting next week, so maybe things will change, and maybe we'll see the Preds start to live up to the hype a little bit here. They got the Blue Jackets coming up later today, so maybe can get to 3-5, inch closer back to 500, and start to put some things together here. We'll see. 615-737-1025. If you have any more thoughts on our question of the day, what song represents how you feel about your sports teams right now? Sadly, we have to dig into the depression a little bit more. We're going to talk Titans on the other side. Titans made some trades, starting to maybe wave the white flag on the 2024 season. We'll talk about it next here on 4's Company, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. on your Saturday morning.
I'm about to sing for you.
He was at Nissan on Saturday night.
Max the other day was telling me how much he hates country Post Malone.
Really? Oh, I love it.
I love it. I think it's great.
I like his old stuff, but I love the new. I love the.
I think it's great.
The country album. I thought it was awesome. Yeah, he first ever arena show or stadium show for Post Malone on Saturday at Nissan Stadium.
I love it.
So
That's a good album.
it's a great song there.
Hot
Circles.
take. I think the Dolly Parton one might be my favorite.
The
on
Dolly
album.
Parton one's good. He's got 2 with Luke Combs on that album.
The second one.
The second one is better. The
Mhm.
one that isn't on the radio. Guy for that is the one that's on the radio. It's solid.
The second one.
Missing You Like This. That's
That's
a good one.
I like those two, and I like the one with Chris Stapleton.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
one's great.
The Jelly Roll one is good.
I like that one too.
A lot of good songs. We're shameless plug for Post Malone.
I
And,
like the Blake Shelton one. If we're naming off
yeah.
songs,
He was the surprise guest on Saturday.
Really?
He came out and sang "Pour Me a Drink."
Were you there?
I was.
Oh,
I was in the nosebleeds.
someone bought
We-
tickets.
We got back from Blacksburg at like 6:00, and last second decision. Tune into Sports Talk 8:30 a.m. tomorrow for coverage of the Straight Talk Wireless 400. Coverage will begin at 12:30. The race is set to start at 1:30 p.m. Coverage also available at theGameNashville.com. Let's talk Titans here shortly. Don't need to spend a ton of time on the Titans. Honestly, I was kind of gonna we were gonna just go a Titan-free show after what happened in Buffalo on Sunday, but they made some trades, and I feel like we have to talk about what it means for this Titans team moving forward. DeAndre Hopkins has been traded for a conditional 5th-round pick to the Chiefs, becomes a 4th if the Chiefs go to the Super Bowl and DeAndre Hopkins plays 60% of the snaps the rest of the year. And then Ernest Jones, we barely knew you, Ernest. He is now in Seattle for Jerome Baker and a 4th-round pick. Does it feel like that's the white flag from Rand Carthon and Brian Callahan that they're ready to kind of mail this thing in not mail it in, but like that they're looking ahead to 2025.
Their hopes are over.
I was waiting. I was going to say, I'm not going to start until I get some pessimism from Nick Frazier.
Yeah, let me
That's all I
just
need.
give the pessimism real quick. Yeah, the hope is over for making the playoffs. They have currently a 3.4, according to ESPN's statistics. They have a 3.4 playoff percentage. I'm like, come on, just say 0 at this point.
Yeah.
They have a top 3 projected pick. I mean, they're definitely they're shipping off their best assets right now, what they can get for draft capital. I mean, the DeAndre Hopkins trade, good. Hopefully they make the Super Bowl. Hopefully he wins just for his sake of his career. The Ernest Jones thing, it's a solid trade because you still get a 5th-round pick from the Rams that is a conditional.
Yeah, you basically flipped. It ends up being you sent a 5th and got back a 4th, a 6th, and Jerome Baker. So it's a great trade for Rand Carthon, but it's still only a 4th and a 6th. Like, it's not like you got a 3rd-round pick out of it or something like that.
And I mentioned it yesterday to Chase. And I will emphasize this until the cows come home. Rand Carthon in that preseason game against the Saints mentioned that this staff specifically will be evaluated on their late round draft picks. Like that is something that I'm putting a lot of emphasis towards, because if those don't work out, if your diamonds in the rough don't work out, you're losing your job. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you continue to sell. I think you just fire sell it.
Yes.
There's nothing for this season. There's nothing you can do. I think you've shown your cards. I think now, do I think everyone gets fired? No, but I heard Chase say this earlier in the week. Based on this season and based how Amy Adams Strunk has handled stuff like this, someone's paying. Someone's paying the consequences, whether that be Rand, whether that be Chad Brinker, whether that be Brian Callahan, although I think he's the least of the 3 that will get.
Callahan's going to get a chance to get his guy at quarterback,
yes.
I think.
And here's the thing. I don't think Rand is drafted bad. I think he's had good drafts.
Yeah.
I think he's brought in good players, but they're not performing to the level that they would hope.
Right.
Calvin Ridley is not, he's not, I don't want to say he's not good. He's a great receiver. He's very talented.
Yep.
But the chemistry is not there between him and
he's not
the quarterback.
performing.
No, he's not performing. Your offensive line, they did absolutely nothing to fix the right tackle situation this year. You're seeing the results of that.
True.
This is what happens. This is why I think that if the Titans have high enough draft position, you don't take a quarterback because this is not the year to do it. I think you go tackle. You fix that position. But I don't want to talk about draft in late October like we did last week.
Yeah.
But
Who, if they continue the fire sale, who else is on the move?
Harold Landry, I think.
I think that is the most likely one.
Yeah. I mean, everybody knows where I stand on this. It's Jeffrey Simmons.
Yeah,
but
you want Big Jeff going.
Rossini, I believe, reported that they will not trade.
Yeah,
Jeffrey Simmons.
I know.
Unless somebody blows
Unfortunately.
them away with an offer, which, given the way Big Jeff has played this year, I don't know if anyone's going to be shelling out a first-round pick for Big Jeff right now.
I don't know if there's anyone you can flip anymore on offense. Maybe like Dylan Radins.
But
You
do you
wanna
want to
do
make that offensive line even worse than it already
Yeah,
is?
I don't think you do.
Ma-
I'm trying to think of guys that
Yeah.
are solid players, but can contribute.
I think
something-
offense,
yeah.
you're kind of tapped out with DeAndre Hopkins.
I think so, too.
Defense,
Yeah.
Quandre Diggs, if anybody wants him. But like TD made a good point to me earlier this week that he was on the market in August and you wouldn't have had to give up draft capital to get him, and nobody really was going to. So is somebody going to give up a 6th or a 7th round pick for Quandre Diggs? Probably not. Could you get a 2nd or a 3rd for Harold Landry? Maybe. I know the Lions have kind of been talked about as a possible landing spot there. It wouldn't have happened this week because the Titans aren't going to trade Harold Landry to go face him this Sunday.
Yeah.
But maybe that's one to keep an eye on.
And you make a good point about that, Jake. I feel like if you I guess after the game is over on Sunday, look at the percentage of snaps that Harold Landry played against the Lions, that may give a solid dictation on maybe the Titans are going to trade Harold Landry.
That is a good
either
point.
The Lions or somebody else.
But if you trade Harold Landry, you have nothing at edge rusher. Nothing. I mean,
No.
Arden Key had a sack last week. Great. First time in like a year and a half. But the outside of that, you got a 7th round pick in Jalen Harrell and really not much else.
You're right.
So if you're trading away Harold Landry, I think that is the first sign that the Titans are preparing to actually embrace the rebuild.
A multi-year rebuild.
Because it makes sense to get rid of these expiring contract guys like DeAndre Hopkins and Ernest Jones if you don't have any intent on bringing them back. Harold Landry's under contract next year.
Here's the thing. And I think you'll agree with me on this, Nick. This offseason or this last offseason set the Titans back years.
Yep.
100%.
Years.
They didn't embrace the rebuild.
They didn't. They thought they had a chance to compete, and they didn't.
And back to your point earlier about somebody's going to have to pay for this, because I feel like Amy Adams-Strunk was fooled by Rand Carthon himself.
Yep.
Because everybody was so bought in on maybe we'll catch lightning in a bottle with this team. This might be an actual type season where they had like with the Bengals in year 1 with Burrow and Chase. They could go on a Super Bowl run. I feel like Amy Adams-Strunk was sold on that and was fooled right in front of her face.
I hate to use
Rand
the
Carthon.
term because I don't like the term, and Jared uses it, and you know where I'm going with this. We got fooled by toxic positivity, folks.
Bingo.
They got us. They hooked us. I mean, it's like fishing. We took the bait. They hooked us. We're someone's dinner now.
But you know where it all starts, right?
Ownership.
Will Levis. I
Yeah.
mean, the whole season hinged on Will Levis, and I get why they did it. They wanted to surround him with as much talent as possible so they could make a fair evaluation of whether he's the quarterback or not. But when he doesn't pan out, it makes everybody look stupid because you're like, well, we brought in Calvin Ridley and L'Jarius Sneed and Lloyd Cushenberry and made it look like we're ready to go try and win the division, and now we're 1-5. It starts with Will Levis. I did say all offseason, though, that the worst case scenario is being 8-9 or 7-10. I'll be 2-15 if that means that you pick high in the draft and you know that you don't have a quarterback. That's fine with me. It's better than being 8-9 and having Daniel Jones.
We did say this season we're going to find out if Will Levis is the guy. We will know. I think we know.
I think we know.
I don't want to say like if the Titans were to rebuild, like if it's going to take about 3 to 4 years, I think it'd be like not 3 to 4. I'd say about 3 to 5 years. I wouldn't say a 5-year rebuild, but if the Titans do have a top 3, top 2 pick and they end up trading back and evaluating the offensive line, just retooling that.
Yeah.
Would you rather see the Titans trade for an established quarterback already in the NFL And then that could actually kind of.
I think they need to sign a bridge guy this offseason. And then
it's fair.
Here's my perfect plan for the Titans.
that will absolutely not fail. Ever.
Clip it.
Nope.
We're getting it ready.
Perfect plan for the
Get
Titans.
your notepads out.
Rand Carthon, if you're listening to this, write this down. Titans pick in the top 3 this year.
Mm-hmm.
They trade back
Mm-hmm.
as far as you can.
Mm-hmm.
Go down to 10, 11, 12. Pick up a first-round pick for next year
Mm-hmm.
and take either a tackle, a wide receiver, an edge rusher, whoever you think the best player is.
Mm-hmm.
Sign Andy Dalton to be your quarterback for 2025.
Mm-hmm.
And go 6-11. That's fine with me. Go 6-11, go 7-10 with Andy Dalton.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have 2 first-round picks that you can trade up and go get your quarterback. That's my plan.
Okay.
That's my plan. Will that happen? Almost certainly no. Would that even work? Who knows? Because having those 2 first-round picks doesn't guarantee that you're going to get yourself to a spot where you can get a quarterback. But, well, we'll see. Let's quickly go to Wes in Hermitage, who is he's been on our text line talking about the Titans, sending us some great songs. Wes, what you got for us on the Saturday morning?
And are you okay?
Man, I wish I was okay. I'm about as okay as the Titans are right now. This is my question. I hear this a lot, and I hear everybody saying that this season was about Will Levis and that Rand Carthon gave them all the opportunities, all the weapons they needed to make sure that they could see if he was a legit quarterback. Now, I'm out on Will Levis, but my question is this. What position did Sadiq Charles play?
Right tackle.
Right guard.
Or right guard, yeah.
Right guard. Okay. Whenever he decided that he was not going to play for us, what was the plan to fix that position once he said, I'm out?
Dylan Radens, who has actually been pretty good.
Right. But then that still leaves the right tackle position open, right?
No, that is true. They had no plan at right tackle.
That's my thing, is how can you fully evaluate a quarterback or say that Rand gave him everything that he needed if you start this season without a right tackle?
Wes, I don't know if you heard Rand Carthon. They checked every box this offseason from the.
That's what I'm concerned about, and that's why my new saying is let Rand run. Get him out of here.
Jared would love that.
Yes, we need to find Jared up in the Great White North and get his thoughts on this call. Wes, thanks for the call. Good thoughts. And no, I agree with you that yes, did they give Will Levis lots of pieces for sure, but they did not fix right tackle. They didn't have a plan at right tackle.
They didn't. And they're going to lie to you and tell you they did because they want you to feel good about the team.
Yeah.
Do we feel good about the team?
No, not at all.
Nah. Although, real quick, before we go to break, Texter does bring up something interesting. What about Marcus Mariota?
God.
I don't think that would ever happen.
Yeah,
Marcus would not come back here. I don't think.
Yeah.
I think he's moved on. He looked great last week for the Commanders.
and I was happy for him too.
I have lots of friends who are Washington fans, having grown up there, and I texted all of them when Jaden Daniels got hurt. I was like, I'm so sorry you have to watch Marcus play football because it's been bad. Like with the Raiders, he wasn't great. With the Falcons, he wasn't great. He looked good on Sunday, and I'm happy for him. I am, because I loved watching Marcus play here 16, 17, 18. Didn't work out, but
I think the bridges have been burned here. For Marcus.
No, I don't think Marcus is coming back. But
he's a fan favorite. He's a Nashville sweetheart. But
would it make me mad if they just said next year, hey, we're going to get a bridge guy who's going to play here for 1 year and we're going to move on? No.
What would make me mad? Hey, Will Levis has been great for us this season.
Let's bring him back. You know who I want? Not Andy Dalton. I want Tyrod Taylor to be our quarterback next year.
Hey.
I'm all in on Sam Darnold.
Tyrod Taylor may mess around.
Darnold's going to cost too much.
Yeah.
You think so?
Darnold will get a Kirk Cousins type deal this year.
Yeah.
I bet he'll get like, maybe not Kirk Cousins. He'll probably get 3 years, like $100 million.
With Minnesota?
No, because Minnesota just drafted McCarthy. Yeah. He'll go somewhere else.
How do you feel about Jimmy G?
No, he's
no.
done. He's done. All right, well, we got to get to a break here. Good Titans talk. We got to talk some Preds coming up next. Predators have won back-to-back games. They've started to settle in with this new group. They play Columbus here in Nashville later on today. We'll talk Predators and Smashville coming up next. You're on 4's Company, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Join Jared Stillman, Chris Sanders, and Derek Mason at Twin Peaks in Madison tomorrow for the pregame show from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. They will break down the Titans' Week 8 matchup against the Lions and give you the latest updates before the game. The pregame show is presented by Parman Tractor and Equipment, Sundeck Nashville, Sloan's Motorcycle ATV, and award-winning Blue Note Juke Joint and Blue Note Crossroads Bourbon. 4's Company, 102.5, 106.3 The Game. Jake Lyman, Nick Frazier, Connor Newt, Jake Wallman. Quickly going to talk some Preds before we get to our weekend picks in the final segment. Predators with a 3-2 win over the Blackhawks last night. They are now 2-5 after an 0-5 start. Seems like things are finally starting to fall into place here for Nashville. All the hype in the offseason. You hate to start 0-5, but it's a long season, and it's good to see that they've been able to get back-to-back victories.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially last night, I honestly thought it was kind of over when it got to 2-0.
Yeah,
I was like,
too.
it's like, oh boy, this is going to be a long, long night if that's the case.
And
But,
almost went to 3-0.
Yeah, that challenge, obviously. Yeah. But I mean, the Preds are a team that just has a will to win. That I think these type of trips, and I believe Ryan O'Reilly mentioned this too earlier with the Chase and McJoe show this past week. And I agreed to that point of, you go on road trips, you're able to build chemistry with the certain players, younger players, like a guy like Zach LaRue, who's been a huge piece to them so far this season, being called up from Milwaukee. I mean, you have these type of trips that kind of set the chemistry and set the tone for the whole season. And it kind of reminds me last year from the Vegas where the U2 concert where they canceled that. I feel like that's kind of the same situation here. It's like nothing was canceled, but business is business.
This is what I love about Andrew Burnett and Barry Trotz. They want to win, and there's no excuses with them. Either you win or you lose.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference to me. This is a little off topic, but that's the difference between the Preds front office, ownership, all that. Titans, I don't think we can say they don't want to win. They obviously want to win.
But there's more excuse making from the Titans.
There's, we're going to be great this year, and we want to please the fans, and then fans, please stay with us. Blah, blah, blah.
They always have to explain themselves.
Yeah.
Whereas the Preds, you don't really have to do that.
Yeah. Preds are, we're not performing the way we want to be performing. We apologize to the fans, but stick with us. We're going to get right back up. And I believe them when they say that because they've proven time and time again that they will.
And they back up their word.
Yep.
Yeah.
They do it.
And the reason I believe the Predators is because before last season, Barry Trotz was saying, hey, yeah, we might have to take a step backwards before we take a step forwards. Like basically saying like, this could be a rough year. But guess what? It wasn't. They went to the playoffs and Barry Trotz said, guess what? This team, this young core has shown me that they can be the pieces we need around some of this veteran talent. I'm going to go get you Steven Stamkos, Jonathan Marchessault, and Brady Shea.
And it's gone well. I mean, it didn't start out well, but like I said, pieces are starting to mesh together.
We have faith that it's going to figure itself out.
One of your new signings just scored a game winner last night.
Yeah.
Brady Shea.
I think it's his second goal of the year, too.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's just
more goals than Steven Stamkos this year.
Hey, easy now. Stammer's going to get his chance, okay? Every weekend on the Saturday show, I always predict Stamkos will get a PowerPoint point or a goal.
PowerPoint. Was he going to give us a TED Talk?
Hey, a power play point. My goodness. Wow. How about that?
I'm Steven Stamkos. This is my TED Talk.
Yeah, PowerPoint. Oops. My bad. The sleep's catching up to me.
No,
guys.
they should make that. That should be a hockey term. A power play point. PowerPoint.
A PowerPoint. I think we have just broke the system. Sorry about that. The sleep.
I mean, hockey likes to abbreviate everything, like a shorty and
The
you
peeper.
know.
Yeah. Excuse me.
The peeper.
The peeper.
All right. Power play.
Yeah,
That's what Luke calls it.
They love the abbreviations up there. We just came up with a new one.
Yep.
A PowerPoint.
The PowerPoint.
The PP.
The PowerPoint. All right. As for like Stamkos and whatnot, I think he's just going to take extra time, to be fair. It's just going to take a little extra time. But I think this power play will kind of – we've already seen it. Like the chemistry passing the puck has been pretty fluid, whereas last year, like you'd see some struggles from time to time. But I think it's more there. It's more complete this year than it was last year.
And Columbus coming in today, not a team that's expected to be all that competitive. That's a game that you could continue to build off of and see if you can get yourself a win. Should be a fun one tonight. 6 o'clock pregame show right here on the game with puck drop at 7. The Preds official pod will be before that, so you can get your Preds coverage started at 5. And then on Monday, Steven Stamkos makes his return home. Going to Tampa on Monday night. That's a 6:30 puck drop down there in Tampa Bay.
Think some tears will be shed.
Yeah, I think they're going to do something special for him. Like they have to. Like everybody who returns gets their little video montage. I bet they're going to
No
do
way they
something
boo him,
extra.
right?
No, not at all.
No.
I don't think so.
You might hear
I
one
mean,
or two.
he did leave him high and dry.
Pretty
I
sour.
don't know.
Yeah.
They bring back Ryan McDonough and Stamkos is out. We're going to Nashville.
They did that for him too.
Yeah.
I mean, they did replace him with Jake Gensel.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's fan favorite.
Pret-
He had the key to the city.
I will say Pretz kind of owned Tampa Bay in trades, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Yeah.
get a haul for
Tanner Jeannot.
Tanner Jeannot. Yeah.
Go grab McDonough, does some good stuff for us, and then take him back and go grab Stamkos in the offseason.
They're a rental.
Yeah. That
They
was.
really are.
They're a car rental place. We'll take your Ferrari.
I would be shocked if they boo him on Monday.
I don't know. I'm kind of torn. Like, I feel like there are some diehard fans that are just, oh, he was great for us, and we loved him while he was here. But I feel like it's always the more casual fans.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
We'll see. But an opportunity here for the Predators to continue this win streak. Again, Columbus tonight at Bridgestone Arena, puck drop at 7. And then if Steven Stamkos can get his revenge, you win those games, you're right back one game below 500. So an opportunity for the Preds to continue this run after the slow start to the season. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. We're going to make some picks to wrap up the show here on this Saturday. Going to pick some college football, some NFL football, I think. I haven't really settled in on what we're picking yet today. I'll make that decision in the break.
Professional darts?
Why not?
Sure.
Why not? We'll do some darts. We'll do a
Coach
wild
Newt's
card
game tonight
coming
against
up
Michigan.
after this. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. 4's Company, 1025-1063 the game.
Oh yeah,
Is this your song?
this is my song.
4's Company.
I'm not gonna sing. We got booed off the airwaves.
Yeah,
last
that's
time we
true.
sang.
We don't want Chase to take our show away. 4's Company, 102.5, 106.3 The Game.
You
Jake
gotta let it
Lyman,
ride out until it's
Nick Frazier, Connor Newt, serenading all of Nashville, and Jake Wallman.
We got to get to the part so you know how I feel.
Okay.
Here we go. Doesn't this make you think of like an 80s montage of like the end of a movie and they jump up? And,
It like cross dissolves in between videos.
Yeah.
It makes
like
me think of the Friends scene where like Chandler and Joey move out, and
Oh, yeah,
Chandler's
yeah,
like
yeah.
looking out the window.
is this the song?
I don't think
It
so.
might be, honestly.
Might be.
There's a chance.
I feel like I'm supposed to be
No,
crying
wait.
in the rain.
That one is that's the All by Myself.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Celine.
Yes.
Love me
Yes.
some Celine.
Let's get to our weekend picks here. We got a little under 10 minutes before we get into a full slate of college football. Let's start with college football. Vanderbilt and Texas just down the road on West End. Commodores and Longhorns. Texas 18.5-point favorites.
Ooh.
But we're not picking against the spread. We pick straight up here. Does Vandy get the upset done? Nick Frazier, you were leaning that way. Do they do it?
They do it.
Woo! Wow.
They do it. I am that 60% went to 100%. I think Vandy wins today, and I think it's close. I think they win by 3. I think it's a field goal. You know, Vandy had the struggles against Missouri with that overtime field goal. I think the redemption is today.
Guess what? I'm right there with you.
Oh my God.
Anchor
Love it.
down. Anchor down.
We are a
I will
Homer
go.
program.
I will go 37-34. I'm with you. 3-point game. I think Vandy's going to have to do the same thing that they did against Alabama. 37-34. Vanderbilt takes down Texas today.
I got to bring you both back down. It ain't happening today. I'm telling you. I think Texas gets the early lead and runs with it. Give me Texas like 38-20. It's not gonna happen.
38-20.
Yeah.
So they're not going to cover the spread.
Nope.
Wow.
Just ever so slightly.
Yep.
Jake Wallman, are you making it a split?
Yeah, I'm going to make it a split, but I do think Vandy covers the spread. I'm going to say Texas 41, Vanderbilt 30.
All right.
Both
Okay.
teams putting up some points today.
Okay.
I
The
said
spread.
I didn't know. I don't know
What was that?
I don't know. I said I wasn't going, or I didn't know what we were going to pick. I had Titans on there. Do we need to pick Titans? I think we're all picking the Lions.
I
right?
think we're all going Lions.
Okay.
on this.
Let's pick the Preds. Preds and Jackets tonight from Bridgestone Arena. I think the Preds get it done. I think the Preds make it 3 in a row. They're starting to feel good. They're starting to get that chemistry going. Give me Nashville getting back to 3-5 on the year.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I think the Preds get it done. I don't think Columbus is a very good team. I think they don't have a lot of depth. Nashville has the goal scorers to get it done. Give me, you know what? You've inspired me, Nick Frazier.
No.
Give me Steven Stamkos to score today
On a
Oh.
PowerPoint?
on a peeper.
Is he going to get a PowerPoint?
You could get a
He's gonna
PowerPoint.
get that pee goal.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I am taking the Preds to win as well, 5-1, and I'm
Oh, wow.
going with
Wow.
Jonathan Marchessault.
Oh, that's a good one.
to get a goal.
That's a good pick.
Yeah,
that's a good pick.
I think Marchie. They call him Marchie.
Marchie?
Right?
I call him Marchie.
Abbreviating everything. Marchie is going to get a goal today.
Yeah, if you guys are picking goals, I'll pick a goal too.
Okay.
The Factor puts one in the net.
I was
today.
between the
Oh,
fact
yeah.
daddy.
Ryan O'Reilly with a
Roar.
goal. Jake Wallman, Preds.
Preds, Jackets. Preds win 3-0, 2 scores from Phil.
Ooh, juicy shut.
No, 2 scores from Phil
Or Wedgwood will probably be in goal today.
and
Yes,
a
back to back.
power play goal from Brady Shea.
Oh, okay.
All right.
2 in a row.
Man, he's picking all his goals.
Yeah.
I like it. Let's do a wild card here. What you guys got?
Give me a second. Go ahead, Nick Frazier.
Nick, do you have one in mind?
Well, I was going to go professional darts, but I was just joking about that.
No, do it,
actually.
please.
I really don't.
Please go darts.
I do follow it, but no. Luke Humphreys is a great darts player, but no, we're going to go on to college football. I think Penn State wins on the road and they stay at, in the top 3 for the top 3 in college football, excuse me. So take Penn State to beat Wisconsin today.
Jake Wallman.
I'm going to go with Indiana and Washington, the game that's our game day game
Game day.
today. Indiana is without their starting QB. Former VFL Taven Jackson is going to make the start for the Hoosiers today. I think Washington makes it close, but I think Indiana pulls one out. Final score 31-27.
I'm going to go chaos again. I already said Vandy beats Texas. Missouri beats Alabama.
Why are you so
Whoa.
high on Missouri?
I'm not as high on Missouri as I used to be, but I don't know why Alabama is a 15.5
Oh,
point favorite
look at
in this
that.
game.
It's
Yeah,
all Texas.
All Texas on game day.
It was all Alabama too. I will be the lone wolf. Missouri takes down Alabama
Mm.
and
Loser.
ends Kalen DeBoer and the Tide's playoff chances.
Loser leaves the top 25.
Yeah.
Wow.
Connor, have you found anything yet?
Yeah, I'm gonna please Nick Frazier again today.
Oh, take them.
The ponies
Yes.
playing the Duke Blue Devils.
They're doing it. They're my dark horse win the ACC. I only have one loss.
They're
Yeah.
coming in number 22 in the nation. They come into Durham. Duke is also 6-1, so this should be a good game. Pony up, baby.
Pony up.
The Pony Express.
You know what? You got to get a cowboy hat now.
I do,
Yeah.
and a belt buckle.
I don't have that. Actually, I'll get one.
When
Get you
you-
some boots.
When you
got
played,
those.
do you just throw on the hat?
Yeah.
It
from
makes
time
you
to
feel
time.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Headset too.
Yes.
You gotta
I-
have the
but
whole thing.
I do it like Dion does. I'll put the headset like this, so it's like not on the brim. You know what I'm
Oh,
talking about?
Mike.
Yeah, don't mess it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Can't mess it up. So
By the way, Connor, I haven't been here since since 2 weeks ago. We ruined each other's days
We did.
with our picks
We
because
did.
you picked the Tigers to beat the Guardians in Game 5, and I think it was my fault. I came back and picked Vandy to beat Kentucky, and we both ended up sad.
Yeah.
So
Bluer than blue.
I mean, I was glad Vandy won. I did get it right, but yes, the Tigers blew it.
I have a thing now where like when we do these picks, I'll go 2 of 3 every week.
Yeah.
I'll miss one.
Someday I'm going to be bored and I will go back and I will figure out what all of our records are and I'll come in for the show. I don't know if it'll be anytime soon with Vandy starting up again, but maybe like next spring I'll go back and
I'm feeling 3 of 3.
we'll have like
I'm feeling it today.
100 different ones.
if you go back and listen to all the NRL picks that I gave out, that's 100%.
I may not find all of
Yeah, well, I'm
those.
just saying, if
1,000.
If you go all the way back to February and January,
See that average.
I may give up on the NRL stuff.
I didn't
because
mention the Penrith Panthers did win.
they did. They won the Super
forfeited.
Cup or whatever it's
What a-
called.
The grand final.
The grand
yes.
The
final.
Super
I don't know.
You make it sound like a Mario Kart.
Yeah,
Like Grand
Star
Prix or something.
Cup.
Yeah.
They,
Yeah.
they won their 4th grand final in a row. It's incredible. First time ever. in
Wow.
NRL
What a
history.
dynasty.
It is.
Can't believe that this didn't make more headlines.
It should have.
It
Jake,
should've.
how you feeling about your Hokies?
They got Georgia Tech coming up in about 2 minutes. My whole family's out there again.
No
So,
picture today?
Yeah. What's on the tailgate
I know.
menu?
We didn't get a
Come
tailgate
on.
picture. They were talking about that last weekend. My dad was like so happy that we talked about them on the air.
Dude,
Well, we're
think they're
talking
great
again,
people.
Mr. Lyman.
I don't think they're listening. I think Sandman's probably happening right now.
That's
so
Are they
yeah.
jumping?
Georgia Tech doesn't have their starting quarterback today. So
Oh, he's out again.
yeah, Haynes King not playing. So
blow them
hopefully
out by 40.
it's Kyron versus Pyron at quarterback today between the Techs. So we'll see how that one goes. We got a packed day on the Game Nashville Sports Network. Here on the Game, coming up next, Oklahoma and Ole Miss. That is our college football game of the week. And then at 6, Predators and Blue Jackets. Over on 94.9 The Fan, Vandy and Texas, starting at 1:30. And then World Series Game 2 right after that. So you got any sports that you want to listen to today? You're driving around? You can find it right here on the Game Nashville Sports Network. Again, coming up next, Oklahoma and Ole Miss right here on the Game. For Connor Newt, Nick Frazier, Jake Wollman, I'm Jake Lyman signing off. This has been 4's Company here on 102.5 and 106.3 The Game.
See ya.